Bitcoin bouncing from this huge support level like I've been expecting. We are now seeing a pump above the $67,000 again. Bitcoin is in this uptrend and we are now seeing a bullish continuation of this upside momentum. In this video I will tell you everything what's going to be next for Bitcoin and what we can expect in the coming hours and days. I will have a look at several time frames and formations with you, and later in the video I will also analyze the two altcoins Chainlink and PEPE with you. Watch this video all the way to the end because there is a lot to talk about today. Give this video a like and let's dive right into the charts. I've been talking about this formation for Bitcoin with this support and resistance level on the daily time frame, and we can see we had a beautiful run up. We came back to this resistance area at the $67,000 and we saw a rejection, but we came back to this support level around the $64,000 and we can see a beautiful retest of this previous resistance, and it is being turned into support, and the support held strong, and now we are seeing a bounce from this support. So that was exactly what we wanted to see. And now Bitcoin is coming back to this huge resistance around the $67,000. And later today or maybe in the next week we want to see a big push above this resistance level. And we also want to retest this resistance as support and then come further back up and come back to this topside resistance at the $72,000. But first we need to see a break of this first resistance, and that will be a very interesting gain to make, because then we can confirm the bullish uptrend and create more upside momentum. So for now the first big resistance will be around the $67,000, and we first need to break this level to become a little bit more bullish. And yesterday I've also been talking about this 4-hour chart for Bitcoin. We saw a huge downtrend followed by a trend reversal, and now we're in an uptrend. And we can see this huge resistance was forming. We saw multiple touch points in the past as support, and it turned into resistance, and again we broke it to the top side. We retested this as support, so it was looking very good, and we came back to this support area, and we are seeing a huge bounce from this area, and that is what we want to see. And that means this support is holding strong, so this could be a very interesting place to buy more Bitcoin. And it was just a retest of this previous high, and now we are creating a higher high, and we also created a higher low. So let's see if Bitcoin can continue this bullish uptrend and create another higher high. And yesterday the Bitcoin ETF saw an inflow of $31 million, so that is a positive day for the Bitcoin ETFs. BlackRock bought for more than $17 million. The other Bitcoin ETFs didn't buy or sell anything. Only Grayscale sold for almost $40 million. So this was another positive day for the Bitcoin ETFs, and we're now at a total of $17.5 billion. So that is good to see, and we are seeing an uptrend for the Bitcoin ETF's cumulative inflow. So that is exactly what we want to see. And eventually we want to see this $20 billion target getting hit, and that would have a very positive effect for the price of Bitcoin, of course. So let's see if we can come to this level in the coming weeks. And the Ethereum ETF saw a negative day again. We saw an outflow of $152 million, so that is a little bit more bearish than the Bitcoin ETFs. And we saw BlackRock bought for 17 million, so they keep stacking up their Ethereum, and the Grayscale is still unloading their Ethereum, and they sold for almost 350 million. And they still own around $8.5 billion in Ethereum, so they could dump that on the markets, just like they did at the Bitcoin ETFs in the beginning. And eventually a lot of institutional money will flow into the markets. In my videos of last weeks, I've been talking about this broadening wedge, and we saw a huge broadening wedge unfolding on a daily time frame. We saw multiple touch points on the top side as resistance and multiple touch points on the downside as support. And 2 weeks ago we bounced from this support and we saw a beautiful run up, and now we are trying to retest this previous resistance on the top side. And eventually we want to see a break, of course, a retest of the previous resistance to turn it into support, and then we can confirm the breakout and maybe reach for new all-time highs. So this 72,000 resistance will be the big resistance for Bitcoin to break. And if we can first break out of this huge broadening wedge, we can maybe see in the continuation of the uptrend and break the new all-time highs. And also this huge triangle was breaking out for Bitcoin on a daily time frame. We saw a huge breakout, and we came above this first big resistance. But the breakout target of this triangle will be the top side of the formation, and it will be complement with the resistance around the $72,000. So this will be the breakout target for this triangle. So let's see if Bitcoin can maybe reach it. And eventually I think we first will see a big rejection from this 72,000 resistance. But after that we may see a big break to the top side, a retest of this previous resistance to turn it into support, and then we come to new all-time highs. And that will be very interesting to see. And on the Bitcoin conference in Nashville, Robert F. Kennedy was talking about Bitcoin, and he says that if he is getting elected, he wants to buy $650 billion in Bitcoin for the US government, so that is insane. And if we have a look at the market cap of Bitcoin, you can see Bitcoin is now at $1.3 trillion in the market cap, and the circulating market supply for Bitcoin is around the 19.7 million Bitcoins. So let's say if the US government will buy Bitcoin for $650 billion, that means that we come to the 2 trillion. That will give Bitcoin a price of $101,000. So that is insane, of course. And of course, Kennedy is saying this, but I think he won't be elected. But yeah, I think he's going to be a good vice president, maybe for Trump or something. So I think we will have the first pro-Bitcoin government in the US, and that is also very bullish. But eventually, I'm still waiting for this bull flag to break out to the top side. We saw a huge run-up, consolidation to the side, and now we're almost reaching this previous resistance to the top side. But I want to see an exponential move to the top side after a break, and let's see if we can break this bull flag bullish. And we can see this weekly candle is very bullish actually, because we are seeing a huge wick on the downside with a hammer candle. And yeah, eventually we want to see a break, retest this previous resistance as support, and then from there we want to see this bull flag making an exponential move. And this bull flag still has a breakout target of $108,000, so that is insane, of course. But yeah, still we have to be waiting for this breakout first, and after that we can maybe see an exponential move for Bitcoin. And the first interesting altcoin to talk about is Chainlink. We saw Chainlink making a head and shoulders formation on the weekly time frame, and that was a little bit of a bearish bias pattern. But we can also see that Chainlink bounced from this support level, and we can see multiple touch points in the past as support. And again, we bounced from this level, so this was a very interesting level to maybe accumulate more link, and that is exactly what I did. And if we zoom in on the daily time frame, we can see this head and shoulders had multiple touch points here on the downside as support. Yeah, and we fell a little bit below it, but we regained strength, and now we are seeing a bounce from this level again. But for now, Chainlink has to hold this support again, and of course we want to see a separation of this support level to see more strength for Chainlink coming into the market. But yeah, we could also maybe see a bearish break, of course, and then we could maybe see a retest of this previous support to turn it into resistance, and then aim for lower targets. But I expect that we're going to see more strength for altcoins, and eventually we want to see more upside from here. And my price prediction for Chainlink in this bull market will be around the $100. So we're still at the $13, and we have a long way to go, of course. But I think if Chainlink will show a little bit more strength from here, we can separate ourselves from these lows and create more bullish momentum. Another interesting altcoin to look at is PEPE. We can see PEPE made a beautiful run up after these lows. We saw a huge run up, and now we are a little bit of a consolidation phase. But we can also see we are running into resistance on this daily time frame. We can see multiple touch points here in the past as resistance and support. First we broke it, we tested it as support, and now we are seeing multiple touch points as resistance. And currently we are seeing a little bit of a rejection already. And if PEPE goes lower, we need to aim for lower levels. And the first big support will be around this level, of course, just because we can see a lot of touch points here in the past as resistance and support. First we saw a big resistance, then we broke it to the top side, we retested it as support here, and yeah, we came back as support. So we are now trading inside of this range, and we need to see a break to the either way to the top side or the downside. But still, we could also maybe see more sideways consolidation for here for PEPE. But eventually, of course, we want to see a break to the top side, retest this resistance as support, and then aim for higher targets. And that will be having a very bullish effect of the price of PEPE. So let me know in the comments what you think about PEPE, and if you are holding this meme coin in your portfolio. So I hope you find this video useful. Follow me on my socials, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.